This is Eagle Al, and today we're going to talk about Jalyx Hunt, how he praised Zack Baun, calling him one of the smartest linebackers he ever played with. Also, Cowherd suggests we should trade A.J. Brown. I will talk about why that is ridiculous. And lastly, we're going to talk about Jahan Dotson, why I believe he was a steal for the Eagles, while Commander fans constantly bring him down. But let's get into it. Right, of course, before we hop straight into the topics, let's go over some quick hits, man. Let's talk about who might be a former Eagle is Milton Williams. So Milton Williams, he's getting a lot of buzz about going to the Carolina Panthers. That's the team that might sign him. Still, I'm away from the Philadelphia Eagles because Odigizua, the guy that played for the Cowboys, defensive tackle, got tagged for about $25 million a year. So that looked like the price for Milton Williams, and I don't think the Eagles are going to pay it. Maybe they offer him something. Hopefully they don't offer him nothing disrespectfully, or hell, don't offer him anything at all if it's going to be a disrespectful price. You let him walk. I hate it, but it is what it is. Guys know I'm a big Milton Williams fan. Been talking about him for quite some time, and I said this year, or last year I should say now, was going to be his year. And a lot of people are like, yeah, he's undersized, this, that, and the third. I'm telling you, it's going to be his year. And he showed up and showed out, man. Look at his numbers in the Super Bowl, postseason, regular season. Hell, he basically took Jordan Davis' starting spot. So Milton Williams, man, whatever money he get, he definitely deserves it. Also, the Eagles, their official schedule has been released. We knew this since week 14, but the Eagles actually put it out. So let's go over the schedule, who we play home, who we play away, but let's go over it. Right, so the home games: Cowboys, Giants, Washington, Bears, Lions, Broncos, Rams, and Raiders. Those are the teams we play home. It's going to be fun to watch that Raiders game, especially with Chip Kelly coming in town. Then away, you have the Cowboys, Giants, Washington, Bucks. Why we could never play the Bucks in Philly, but neither here or there. Then you got Green Bay, you got Kansas City Chiefs, which will be the rematch. Then you got the Chargers, Vikings, and Bills. I mean, though, that's quite of a tough schedule. Not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, what do you expect? You a first place schedule. I think the Bills going to be a tough team. Chiefs are always going to be tough. But really, other than that, our division, Washington, maybe we split with them. We should be able to knock our division out. We see how the games lined up. That's what really mattered. Like who we play week 1, who we play week 6, where's our bye placed. So that stuff matters, but that's the home and the way. So pretty decent schedule. I still see about 13, 14 wins, but I got to see how things line up. Training camp, who we sign. If someone get hurt on their squad or our squad, you just got to see how things align before you make like these Super Bowl predictions based on who you play at home and away. But let's get into the main topics, all right? So let's talk about A.J. Brown. So A.J. Brown, we get a lot of clicks. And when you mention A.J. Brown, you're pretty much going to get clicks and views. So Cowherd decided to talk about A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown mentioned on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast that him and Jalen had some issues here and there, but he went in to explain how, like, we two alphas, this, that, and the third. And obviously, these two guys won the Super Bowl together. Let me just play the clip.
I'm about over chatty wide receivers calling out quarterbacks. Like, let's be honest about this team with Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley in that O-line. You could move off A.J. Brown. He's very, very good.
Oh, no, he's excellent.
No, I love him. I love DK Metcalf. Seattle could move off him. I think.
Well, wait, Seattle hasn't won anything with Metcalf. This guy is instrumental to winning.
He's very, very good player, but I think wide receiver is Buffalo proved it. I mean, Kansas City proved it.
Buffalo hasn't won anything. KC has Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're willing to move off A.J. Brown right now? Or at
no,
the
I'm
next
saying they have to move off players. Howie Roseman has come out in the last 48 hours and said it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very just be patient with us. They've got to move off a couple of big pieces. Are you going to pay a linebacker? Are you going to pay that linebacker big money?
No, you can find a linebacker. You can't find an A.J. Brown.
No, but I can find 80% of A.J. Brown. I'm
You're
over.
so well built because Devonta Smith is amazing against zones. And if you go, man, nobody can guard A.J. Brown. You saw him cook McDuffie in the Super Bowl. Like he's, I don't want to say unguardable, but he's definitely a top 5 receiver.
I'm not doubting that, but I will tell you, is December and January, deep threats do not have the impact that they do early. This Philadelphia team's soul is that offensive line, that quarterback, and that running back. So if Saquon Barkley, who's like all class, would never call out a quarterback, ever under any circumstances. If he did, I'd swallow hard and deal with it. I'm not this. If I don't want to hear this stuff, I would call him in right now and say, "You're not talking about the quarterback publicly, or we're going to move you to, or we're going to move you to Jacksonville."
But before you say that, I think you should go to Mike Vrabel and be like, "Hey, how was life before and after A.J. Brown in Tennessee? How'd that work out?" Because apparently all the reports say Vrabel was crestfallen.
Yeah, but Tennessee didn't have anybody else. They've always been receiver-like.
Well, they had Derrick Henry and Tannehill. They were their number 1 seed in the AFC one year.
You're comparing that Tennessee team to this Philadelphia roster? I would sit A.J. Brown. I'd say, first and last warning, we don't talk about our quarterback publicly. We're not doing that. The soul of this team.
See, I don't think we should trade him. And I hear like fans say that. I see some of my comments that say that, like, we should trade him, this, that, and the third, because he say this, he say that. I mean, have y'all ever seen like a Jamar Chase interview? Have y'all ever seen like a Justin Jefferson interview? Like, they talk. This how these receivers talk. It is what it is. To me, A.J. Brown's the more calmer out of the guys I named. Have you ever seen Tyreek Hill talk? Like, come on, man. That's first and foremost. Second, and this probably should have been first and foremost, I don't think y'all understand how good of a tandem Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown is. My personal opinion, and I think the stats back me up, I think they the best duo in the NFL right now, and I think they will be the best duo in NFL history. Why I say that? 2022, that's their first time playing in the league together or ever together. They make it to the Super Bowl and lose. The collapse season, A.J. Brown breaks a record, 150 plus yards and 8 straight games or something like that. He did that in the 2023 season. This season, when A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts finished the game together, they was 15-0. 15-0. I believe this duo is so good between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. I think it's better than the Tom Brady and Randy Moss duo. And I get it. The numbers with Tom Brady and Randy Moss was insane, but they never finished the job. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts did. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts did. Name a better duo in the NFL right now. It's not Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. It was never Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson. It's not Dak and CeeDee Lamb. It was not Dak and Dez Bryant. It was not Dak and Amari Cooper. None of those guys. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Again, the best duo ever. And now I'm starting to assume some of the fans are not appreciating history, and some of these critics and stuff is not appreciating history. These two are making history, and if they do it again, they win again, I'm telling you, man, they will go down in history. I'm sorry, y'all. A.J. Brown putting up numbers soon as he start playing with Jalen Hurts, 3 straight Pro Bowls. You can't ignore that stuff. You just can't. Those two match. It goes together really, really well. And then Cowherd tried to make the point like, oh, it's the O-line, D-line, Saquon, this, that, and the third. Saquon wasn't here 2022 when we made the Super Bowl. I'm just saying we could have won the Super Bowl in 2022, but that was the defensive side of the ball. It wasn't no off connection between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. The defense couldn't get a stop. They just couldn't do it. And you seen when the defense gets stops, you get Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, Devontae, and those guys going, get that passing game going. It's unstoppable. I'm just saying, man. Gotta appreciate it. Don't try to get rid of the guy. Don't do it, because there will be a day. AJ Brown retires or he gets older and maybe we can't afford him and he goes somewhere else. There will be that day. And you guys will miss this duo. I'm just saying, just enjoy it. Stop wishing for them to get traded. Stop listening to the Cowherds and these guys, this, that, and the third. It was a ridiculous take. And I like to push back whoever he was with, give him pushback. Like, are you crazy? Like, trade AJ Brown. Whoever his co-host was, that pushback was warranted. All right, so let's get into the next topic. Zack Baun. Zack Baun getting praise from Jalyx Hunt being one of the smartest linebackers he ever played with. But let me play this clip.
One of the smartest linebackers I've ever played with. The same pick you caught in the Super Bowl, he dropped in practice. He dropped it in practice, and he was like, I won't drop this play. He's not supposed to really be there.
Right.
He's supposed to shade the strong side of the field a little bit more. Where he's lined up right now, the strength is to the left side. The strong side is to the left. He should shade number 3. There's no reason for him to be over here. Oren Burke has this. He's on number 2 to the flat. He shouldn't be in the middle to the right side. He should be shading the running back coming out of the backfield. I know he has the flat, but they should be in and out, basically.
What do you got? Is this a 2 or 4 here? Split safety. That looks like 4 to me.
I like you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we're definitely in 4. The running back comes in. It looks like he has an option route, but essentially. If he comes out of the backfield late and goes in, Zach has to pick that guy up.
So wouldn't Coop be responsible here as curl flat type with the running back? Or not?
If he goes out.
Right. Oh, right, because that's the whole thing. It's like the rules.
Rush over the middle, and it's intercepted again.
This is why Zack Baun should stay in Philadelphia, man. Zack Baun, he's doing this thing. His teammates see it. Definitely should have been Defensive Player of the Year. But Jalyx Hunt, that dude got it. And you got to remember during the season, there were clips of Jalen Carter talking about Zack Baun, yo, I play with Nakobe Dean, but you different too, man. I trust y'all word. I trust what y'all say. And Zack Baun made a name here. Hopefully we could give him something. Hopefully he could get paid with the Philadelphia Eagles, or hell, he might cash out because he is in his prime. He is somewhat older. So maybe he get that big contract he wanted. He got the Super Bowl ring with the Philadelphia Eagles. That does beg the differ. What do we do as far as with linebacker? And I got a guy in mind just in case Zack Baun decide to leave. That's in free agency. I won't get into that. Maybe I'll talk about that another time. But there is a guy I have in mind. But again, man, Zack Baun, baller, should stay in Philadelphia and build a legacy here, man. Try to win more rings here. Vic Fangio, you and Vic Fangio, how I just talked about Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. Zack Baun and Vic Fangio, they get each other. They really, really do. All right, so last but certainly not least, Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson is a steal for the Philadelphia Eagles. So since the Commanders got, Deebo Samuel, they keep talking about, oh yeah, we traded a third, or we got a 3rd round pick for Jahan Dotson. Let me tell you how this worked. When we got Jahan Dotson, we knew we was getting a 4th and 5th option. We knew the offense was going to run through AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and we just needed a reliable guy. So we were like, you know what? We would give up this 3rd round pick and get Jahan Dotson. Eagles fans, we knew he wasn't going to have the stats. We know he wasn't going to have 500, 600, 700, 800 yards because we wasn't asking him to be that guy. We asking him like Super Bowl. When your number is called, you 1-on-1, can you beat your matchup and can you make the big play? Yes, he proved that with the Jacksonville Jaguars, that big catch. Hell, remember when all the starters sat and he played against the Giants, went for 100+ yards? So we know what Jahan Dotson can do if he's the number 1, number 2. But we asking him to be the 5th option in this high-power offense. 5th option. So first, you guys spent the 1st round pick on him. We got him for a 3rd round pick, right? You know what you guys decided to do with y'all 3rd round pick you got from us? Go get Lattimore. Lattimore. No, that wasn't a good move. And when y'all got Lattimore, y'all was asking him to be the best corner on the team. He's not. And y'all traded y'all fifth for Debo Samuels, who y'all asking to be y'all number 2. That's not going to work. Now, if you asking Debo to be your number 3, number 4, I'm like, oh, yeah. I don't think he work as a number 2. I don't think it'll work. And that's why I look at Jahan Dotson for us as a steal, because we also get the rookie contract. That's the big thing. And I get it. Commanders got so much cap space, but they not spending it right to me. They not. They going to be the team that take on what? Devontae Adams, $32 million. Watch. Watch they try to get Devontae Adams and take on $32 million against their cap. And they going to think that's a good move. They got all that cap space and signed their older guys. And then they trying to justify saying, oh, yeah, you seen what Zach Ertz and this, that, and the third did, and Bobby Wagner. No, y'all need some young blood there. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. You're going to need some young blood, and it's just not going to work with all these older guys. You think Zach Ertz going to play a whole season like that again? You think Bobby Wagner is going to play a whole season to the NFC Championship game like that? Wow, some injuries coming up here and there. I'm telling you, man, it's not going to work. And that's why I look at the Jahan Dotson thing as a win for us, and that's a loss for them. That's a loss. Because now if they had Dotson, Debo, and Terry McLaurin, that's a good trio. But Dotson and Terry McLaurin, I'm telling you, it's not going to be enough. Still got offensive line problems. Still got running back problems. Stop comparing us what we do to y'all. Jahan Dotson was a steal for us. But that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news today? Jahan Dotson being a steal. Also, A.J. Brown being traded. Ridiculous talks. And Zack Baun getting the praise that he deserves. But this is Eagle Al. I'm out.